Hello, Mr. Beard here with your class recap for Thursday, March 29th. Our objectives today were to recognize motifs. And a motif is a recurring structure, something that happens over and over again in a novel, or in this case, a novella, such as the one we're reading. And the motif we want to recognize is the motif of discarding broken items, people, or animals that we see in Of Mice and Men. And our primary objective is to pick out SAT vocabulary. Class began by finishing our Section 3 vocab, which is the first page of the new packet you've gotten. It's very short, not a whole lot of words on that list, and it should only take you about 2 to 3 minutes to finish. We then moved into reading Section 3 in Of Mice and Men. And I'd like to go very quickly through some of the important points that we hit as we were reading. I don't want to go through major plot points step by step with you because I do want you to read the story. But there were some side items that we highlighted while we were reading, and I want you to be privy to those as well. The first big thing that we've touched on before, but I really want to draw your attention to as we get into Section 3. If you've ever been to see a play, when the curtain rises, the first thing you see is the scene. The stage is set. There's construction on the stage. Usually there's a structure. In this case, on the screen, you see stairs, you see a wall, you see all these brightly colored objects, reds and blues, and you are there. You are at this scene. Steinbeck sets up Of Mice and Men almost like a play. Each chapter begins with a description of the setting or the scene, and it stays there. The action stays in each scene. If you read Harry Potter, he's bouncing around all over the place. He's on the pitch playing Quidditch, and next thing you know, he's in class and he's walking through the halls, and the story moves with him and the other characters. Not so in Of Mice and Men. It stays firmly rooted like if you were to go to a play in each scene. And characters may come and go, but the stage is set and we do not move. The next thing I want to highlight is, as we said earlier, the motif of discarding items who have outlived their usefulness. If you've ever seen Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you may remember the scene with the island of the misfit toys. Each of these toys had something fundamentally wrong with them. For example, this train had square wheels, which made him, somewhat useless. And so they took these toys that nobody wanted because they weren't useful and put them on an island away from society, and everybody forgot about them because they served no purpose, so they were discarded. Many of our characters in the story have the same function. Candy, for example, is elderly. He's past his prime. He's not a young man anymore. And not only that, but he's lost his hand in a farming accident, so he's physically disabled. So he's cast aside by society, and he's forgotten. This motif of discarding items dovetails nicely with our theme of loneliness. Because he is alone, his only friend and companion is a dog who is very old and has also outlived its usefulness. Because this dog is so old, Carlson wants to kill the dog. A mercy kill. Put it out of its misery. It serves no purpose and just suffers itself all the time, he says. Finally, after the other characters agree, Candy must relent, and he agrees to allow Carlson to shoot his dog, which will play a very important role as a bit of foreshadowing as we continue on with our reading. So that is all for today. Thanks for listening. I look forward to seeing you in class tomorrow as we head towards spring break.